we should now be live. Just going to check everything's working on Streamlabs today. Perfectly fine. Looks like it is. Spectacular. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the usual Sunday stream. How are we all doing today? Hello, Berenson. Kairu is here. King Giga and the Monster are here as well. I assume more people will pop in as we go. I have a feeling that because Evo hasn't streamed today, I think a few people may have forgotten about Triclaw's usual stream, so we'll see how it goes. Hello, sarcastic paleontologist. Typical. Now you start the stream and it starts to rain. That's English all over, really, isn't it? You're working on your new Minecraft project named The Forge. Is it some sort of lava-flooded dwarven smithy? Completed Jedi Survivor's main game you have. Ah, yes, yeah, I've been through Jedi Survivor myself. I don't think it's quite as good as the first game, but I think it's still decent. Didn't really like the story, though. I thought the story was a little lacking. Yeah, it was a decent enough romp through the Star Wars world. And yes, I have absolutely zero care about the football, so no need to worry about that. Now, today I had intended to spend time putting in dinosaurs and everything else and getting this walkthrough enclosure completed. And then I've had a look at the park and decided I actually really don't like it. My problem with this being a walkthrough enclosure is we've kind of, if we look from the entrance, we've got entrance enclosure, guest area, enclosure. We've got like a combined enclosure guest area here. But I feel like if we have another dinosaur related area straight after this lagoon, straight before this, right next door to the tour, I think it's going to end up being too much. So the plan is, this is not going to be a walkthrough enclosure. Instead, we're going to have some it's just going to be like a garden area. It's just going to be for like planted stuff. We're going to have some bridges across sort of waterways, lots of planting. I am considering having the occasional like small enclosure in here for like, because these sorts of things, they're not too big, so I'm thinking there may be like an occasional sort of birdcage style thing for some smaller species, maybe Morus intrepidus or not Segisaurus. Oh no, I am thinking of Segisaurus. Hello, Colt. So they might be in here, but predominantly the plan is this is not going to be a walkthrough enclosure anymore. So, with that being said, I want to think about the tour area and the aviary and what we're going to have in them, and just sort of figure out the general layout of the rest of the park, really. Because I really do think that if we have a lagoon and then another sort of dinosaur heavy place, it's just going to be too much. And it also kind of makes it awkward connecting our guest area up here to this sort of location, because you can see it's not level or anything. And I just think it would be nicer to just to have just a paved area. So that's the plan. So I think we should spend some time dealing with the aviary, and then we'll start turning this into something else. So the aviary is already pretty established in terms of its size. I've done a little bit of terrain decoration work in here with the waterfall and some planting here and there, and we've got this tunnel / dome bit. So really what needs to be done is, like, what is the rest of this enclosure going to look like for the aviary? Like, what sort of style of sort of biome or decoration are we going to go for? And what animals we're going to actually have in here. So I suppose I need to wedge a aviary hatchery onto here. And since it's only temporary, I'm just going to stick a arrival point on. So, what pterosaur shall we have in here? We've got, what's that, 10, 12 to 13 to choose from. I don't think that this aviary is... Quetzalcoatlus is basically out, so no Quetz in here, okay? I think it's big enough for pretty much everything else, but I don't think it's big enough for, like, lots of everything else. So I think what we have in here is very dependent on what we pick. I wouldn't be against having Thanatos Dragon in here, since I haven't used Thanatos Dragon yet. But I think if we had Thanatos Dragon, it would basically be like, we have 3 of them, and that's all we have in here. Because he's quite a big boy, isn't he? Let's go and have a look in the species viewer and actually let's go and just do like a checkout for skins and stuff. Hello, Goofy Goof. What would be a good pterosaur based on a dragon? I mean, Thanatos Dragon is obviously the obvious choice. Here we go. I haven't really spent much time looking at Thanatos Dragon's skins. Let's have a look here. Is there any that kind of stand out to me straight away? I have to say, kind of not really. I mean, I would say this is one of the biggest problems with the pterosaurs, is that very few of them seem to have very nice looking skins. The blue looks pretty good. I like the blue. The blue and the green are nice. Let's have a look. What about... Can we have it flying so that we can... let's whack it in slow motion as well. Maybe? Hello, Joshua. And Goofy Goof, well, at the moment we are designing the aviary because I've had a different idea with what was going to be the walkthrough enclosure. Honestly, I think that looks better with the black. That being said, with the sort of light, the warm brown, it works okay. I'm just thinking about the male one here. There There are no dragon mods. No, not yet. It's kind of an oddity, really, because I've always thought a park building game where you have to look after like mythical animals and cryptids would be really cool. This is just going to be the male skin though, isn't it? So what do we think? I think Sonoran Desert and Pulcrana for our male skin. We'll have one male and two female, and the females we'll get rid of the coloration and we'll make them lighter or darker. We'll make them lighter. We'll just make them Death Valley. I think that'll do. But let's just double check that we don't want anything other. I mean, I use Tropiognathus way too much. Marodactylus I feel isn't big enough. Geostembergia I feel I've used too much. Pteranodon I feel I used too much. And the rest aren't really big enough. And Genuinopterus is also not big enough. So, yeah. We'll use Thanatos Dracon. Hello, man behind the desk. My favourite skin is the black and orange because it reminds me of a penguin. A flying penguin. But yeah, these will be our dragons then. So the Sonoran Desert and Pulcrana for the male, 2 in Death Valley for the females. And I think, I mean, I'll wait and see how sort of like big they look in the aviary first. But I think 3 will probably do it. I don't want the aviaries to appear too crowded, and this is not exactly a huge aviary. I mean, it kind of looks bigger than it really is, but that's because like the mountainside comes into it, which is what we wanted it to look like, but it does end up taking off some space, so so Sonoran Desert with Pulcrana for the male. And we have a very good one. Okay, and no pattern and Death Valley for the 2 females. Whoops. Thanatos Dracon to the park. They're actually not as big as I thought they were. I thought these guys were a lot larger than that. But I suppose that just indicates just how big that flippin' Quetzalcoatlus is. Where are you going, sir? Okay, so actually we could get away with potentially something else living in here. Because they're really not too... sir? What do you think you're doing? Uh-huh. So I think we have That's strange, because I know that they do sit on the dome. So obviously... Yeah, that's an interesting one. He's on the edge of the log. Oh well. Yeah, so I think given how big these are and how big this aviary is, I think there's definitely space here for another pterosaur. Because those three alone is kind of empty, really, isn't it? So I think what I want to do is I want to have an aviary of two halves. We'll do some aviary designing for the moment. I want to have like an aviary of two sides and have like one side kind of not necessarily beachy, but kind of like more like a beach, and then have the other side as more sort of forested. So I think we'll use this side for the slightly beachy side. I really do not like the sand that comes with these European biomes, but nothing much that we can do about that. So what I want to do is kind of like have a few like rock pools. I wish there was a smaller water brush, honestly. I just want to have like some like ponds. Yeah, maybe. You could put some dinosaurs in there too. Yeah, that's a good point. I could put dinosaurs in here. I hadn't actually thought about that. What do people think? Should we have this as just pterosaurs? Or should we put dinosaurs in here as well? Because I'm kind of free for either, really. I mean, if we do put dinosaurs in there, it would be good to maybe have something that's small enough to walk under these logs. Dinosaurs in the aviary would be cool. Okay, then instead of having, like, more pterosaurs, let's keep the 3 Thanatos Dracon as they are. But let's also put in some dinosaurs of some description. That should be inside enough. Yeah, we need something that is small enough to walk underneath the log. Polacanthus and Iguanodon? Yeah, we don't do Polacanthus often enough, do we? Okay, we'll pick species in a minute. Let's finish off doing like the decoration of this slot first, and then we can go and find some some species of dinosaur. I think we're going to go with black rocks. Yep. Plants, Sinoceratops. You could do Sinoceratops as well. I really don't use a lot of species all too often. Sinoceratops is one of those that I very rarely use, just because I really don't like the model that they've got for it. I don't like the chunkiness. I know a lot of people find the chunkiness cute, but for me, I just think it's kind of just spoils it. It makes it look obese. Okay, let's sink some of these down in there. Maybe have another one. Just sink it down like onto the top. Yeah, that is good. Plants. Let's do. Let's do a few shorter trees. Trees? Yeah, why not? This is going to be kind of a odd rock pool sort of area, but it's Europe. Europe is strange. Oh, we can... I always forget about these guys. Let's grab some of these and sink these down as well. I think plenty of variation in vegetation is important. Especially for Europe, because like pretty much everything grows here. I've just suddenly realised I don't think there's anything for the Thanatos Dracons to eat anywhere. So I'm going to very quickly land fish feeder, piscivore feeder. Let's put some piscivore feeders in here quite quickly before my poor Thanatos Dracon are unable to eat. Sino is easily in the top 5 species of the game for you, sarcastic paleontologist. Is there any particular reason for that? I'm curious. What makes it so good, in your opinion? Let's have some knocked over trees. Ooh. Actually, let's have some. So this stuff came with the swamp mod, and I've forgotten about it until the other day, and I'm like, oh, that's some really good, like, water related decoration. So I'm trying to make use of it more. Especially for like ponds and stuff. I think it really helps. I feel like we need something a little more over here with this plant that's all on his own there. There we go. We don't have many bulky medium herbivores besides ankylosaurs and a few other ceratopsians. However, I find that the Triceratops is a little bit too overdone, and Pentaceratops is too lanky. I do think the Pentaceratops is too thin, but I think Sinoceratops and Nasuto are almost too much the other way. Oh, there we go. So, rain outside. The rain inside sounds like it's hitting the glass surface. I'm not going to say that Jurassic World Evolution 3 will be, you know, done in the same way. But for those people who are hyper optimistic about the outcome of any Jurassic World Evolution 3, just gonna leave that hanging there, you know. These are people that couldn't even be asked to make, like, the fountains in this place work. Temper expectations, I think, is all I'm gonna say. I think this one I might just like stick in the middle there. There is another type of tree that the swamp mod added, kind of just like a dead upright one. It's not the same color. Yeah, I think we'll leave that for the swamp-specific environments. So yeah, just like a kind of like swampy sort of beachside. Like, it's beachy, but it's not, if you get what I mean. And then over here, I'm thinking we can't really design this bit until we decide on dinosaurs. So let's go pick some dinosaurs. I think they're gonna have to be... They're gonna have to be herbivorous, I think. Yeah. They're gonna have to be herbivores. So let's go and have a look. I wish we had the Chaos Theory Pachyrhinosaurus. The current one is too small for me. Hello, Catherine. Polacanthus and Iguanodon was Colt's suggestion. Now that I have Glitch's FGM mod for the Polacanthus, it does look a bit better than normal. We've got so many animals in here. That's curious. Let's go and actually find where that Polacanthus is. Let's have a look. So, there's so many nice patterns now on this guy. I really like the... It makes me think of the Walking with Dinosaurs Ankylosaurus, the black and the yellow. But I'm thinking maybe color-wise we could go for something that's very different to the Thanatos Dracon. I do like the red and the blue as well. Maybe not with the green. Maybe if we just had it with the black? I don't know, I like the green body. I really like the green body, so I think we just need to find a different color combo on the top. Yeah, I don't think that looks too bad, actually. Like that. Too many colors make it look like a toy. Yeah, that is one of the problems. Like, the Shonisaurus, like, FGM that Glitch has put over the top, like, it really does help some animals look better, but you can't get away that some of the colors also do make them look a bit like toys, which is a little annoying. But I think this looks alright. Like, maybe we should have a look and see what they look like without. Because sometimes with a lot of the ankylosaurs, I find without patterns kind of actually is better in some cases. I mean, that's quite nice. But yeah, I think we will stick with this. If we're going to have Polacanthus, so Polacanthus, Amazon rainforest and Calcorana. If we're doing like a Walking with Dinosaurs harkback, we don't necessarily need more than one or two, so I don't think we need to bother with male and female for it. Where is Iguanodon? iguanodon. It'd be up here, wouldn't it? So we're not going to be using the Dominion variant because the Dominion variant is ugly. I hate it. So we'll use the standard variant. I want something that's going to stand out in that area. You know, that warm yellow is actually really nice. The yellow and black, I think, looks really, really good. Just double check on... Because obviously we're also going to have to think about what we're going to do for the female iguanodons. But okay, so iguanodon, we're going to have Gambia River Basin and lithobates. And then the females will... What... Do we have like So that's basically like a lighter black, really, isn't it? Like, if you look at it, it's just a lighter black, which is what I want. But I want a color that's gonna be quite close to the yellow. I think the only one we're gonna get is the Death Valley. Or we could just take Gambia and remove the pattern for the females, or give them like white instead. Have like females with the white and males with the black. Or have females with just the lighter pattern and the males with the darker one. I mean, that could also work. The lighter pattern is pretty. Okay, so we'll do Gambia with Rana then for the females. I'm just going to have some Pepsi. A great video the other day, Fletcher, is very helpful. Oh, so I'm assuming you're referring to the ENCLOSURE design one that I did for the Jurassic Architect Park. I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% happy with how the enclosure turned out and also how that video turned out. I really struggled to articulate myself that I mean this week has just generally been a really rough week for me, Dane, and everyone we kind of know as well. But basically what happened on Tuesday was me and Dane thought that the new house that we were intending to move into had been confirmed. Like we got a message from from the agency that we were dealing with to say, yeah, the referencing has passed. When do you want to move in? So that was on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday morning, Dane got an email from the agency to say the landlord has decided to pull out and no longer wants to rent to you. We're very sorry. But that's it. You know, that was that. Which completely shocked everyone involved. Like, even the letting agency we were using, even they were completely shocked. And it just kind of really screwed over mine and Dane's week a little bit, or at least my week. I don't know how Dane is feeling. I'm probably talking for him a bit too much, but yeah, it really didn't help with our moods. So why would someone pull out of a deal you've already made? Well, technically they hadn't made the deal. That's the thing. They could. We were going to, like, we were expecting to sign the contract on the Wednesday, and they pulled out. And the reasons they gave were also pretty rubbish. They said that they didn't want to rent to 4 people, even though they knew that from the very beginning. They also questioned whether we'd be able to afford the property, which I think was a really bullshit excuse. So the property we were going for, the monthly rent was £1,350 a month. And between all 4 of us, me, Dane, and the other 2 people we were moving in with, our yearly income is £53,000. So we could afford a year's rent easily. Like, no problem. So the idea that we didn't earn enough is just total bollocks. So yeah, a bit of a shame, and yeah, completely spoiled our moods. So, but there we go. There's our Polacanthi and our male iguanodon, and there's our female iguanodons. I went with 3 females to 1 male, so you know, a reasonable mix. I'm going to now delete this. And what we are going to do is finish the decoration of this side of the exhibit. But yeah, hopefully, so we're looking at a new property tomorrow. And hopefully that one we won't have a problem with, and it'll be all hands to the pumps again, and we can organise a move. But yeah, it was a bit of a rough time. So I want to kind of do like a kind of Stonehenge affair here. So I'm going to put 1 there. And we're going to have like 1 there. And we're going to do like 1 there. And 1 there. Obviously, we're going to we'll adjust the heights of these with Kyodenics mod in a minute. Okay, so this one we're going to sink into the ground a bit. And this one we're going to sink into the ground a bit. This one, I actually feel like this one needs to be a little more straight, and twist it slightly, and I want to have it just kind of sticking up a little bit more than the others. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Berenson. And yeah, it was a shame, Catherine, but you know, at the same time, like I feel like I can't be too sad about it, because I know there are lots of people, especially in this country, like families and stuff, that have far worse situations right now, that they're you know, people that are legitimately homeless. And me and Dane, yeah, it might have been annoying for us, but we at least currently have a roof over our heads, so I feel that we can't be you know, you can't be too upset. Things could definitely be worse. You'll make a great Stonehenge. I made a partial and added torches in my UK builds. Yeah, Kyodenics mod makes building things like this a lot better because you can have like these sorts of big rocks as like horizontals, so you can do like the whole proper Stonehenge effect. Interesting place, Stonehenge. If you ever come to the UK and you're in the sort of rough area, or you're driving around on the holiday, you should go and have a look at it. It is just a bunch of rocks at the end of the day, but
well, a bunch of rocks will just stop oil protest happening.
Well, yeah, we won't discuss the stop oil things. But I think they're not like a wonder of the world, but considering how old they are, they're kind of like a silver standard wonder of the world, if that makes sense. I feel like we need to clarify that with like a title, like not a wonder of the world. They're like a curiosity of the world. They're like oh, that's kind of interesting of the world. They are a thing to make you go as it used to be on Brainiac. Also showing my age there, if anyone in the UK knows what I'm referring to. I probably doubt they will. Let's stick some smaller vegetation around here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I want this to kind of be in a bit of a clearing. I'm also tempted, actually thinking about it. A bit too high. Let's kind of make this like a worshipping spot for the Thanatos Dragon. And then the rest of the area, I think we're just going to have like... I want to stick to using those rocks. So let's put like... some rocky sort of crenellation about. There we go. Maybe have a couple there, and then we'll use those for like vegetation around, and then the areas in between will make kind of empty. I hope the dinosaurs can get to the other side of this, because all the dinosaurs seem to be over this side. I think. Hang on a moment. There's... Oh, well, at least I know that the Polacanthus can go under here. Iguanodon. 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 What are you doing? Sir? Sir, that mountain is... Oh. I see. I sense I'm going to have to put down some invisible fencing. Let's get some put down, shall we? So, lessons learned. Dinosaurs do not necessarily stay in the aviary. Hopefully, that should stop any future escapes. And stop the Polacanthus being like a Skyrim horse, as the monster has said. Oh my lord! The Polacanthus was not the only one to escape. Get back in there. You can't avoid your women forever. Is the Polacanthus back down? Yes, the Polacanthus is back down. It can open the shelters. It can climb open the shelters. They can open the doors. Anyway. Let's get some planting in here. Again, I don't want a huge amount of plants and stuff around these rocks. I feel that is a mistake people make quite often on this game, is that they kind of see an empty spot and they'll be like, oh, we need some plants and vegetation here, and then they go absolutely mad with it. And it just looks not necessarily faked, but kind of spoils, I find. I think there's this weird sort of ironic paradox where you want something to look natural, so you put down loads of stuff to make it look natural, and as a result it looks distinctly unnatural. Like, too much vegetation can look just as fake as not enough vegetation, I find. It's also like where people place vegetation, I think, is also really important, because you'll see some people that will like put it down in really bizarre places. Like, I would say if you're building an enclosure and you have your rocks and that in it, put vegetation around your rocks, because that tends to be where vegetation will grow. And then keep like open grassy areas empty. In an attempt to figure out where the now royal Styxos went, they made an altar of dragon communion to use the power of the dragons to locate them, but they accidentally summoned 3 of them. No worries, Catherine, thank you for tuning in. An altar of dragon communion. I like it. Feel like maybe we could potentially do with some I don't know. Actually, I'm kind of happy with that. What do these guys eat? They eat something. Where the ground fruit. Okay, so iguanodons eat ground fruit, Polacanthus eat ground leaf. Okay. Ground fiber, ground fruit, and ground leaf. Okay, so the grassland shrubs. I need to replace some of the vegetation over here with grassland shrubs, because that gives something for the Polacanthus to eat. And we can put some over here as well. So, wait. around the Stonehenge we can have some like grass and shrubs. They also provide ground fruit, so that's good, but I'm sure there's other things that provide... Oh, fibrous ground cover provides the leaf as well, so let's put some of that in. I want to keep some of these flowers, but... This helps it make it look a little bit more swampy. And then ground fruit. So ground fruit also with the cycads. So some of these around. I really do love those. So the cycad grove paleobotany. They have these wonderful, like, huge ferny bushes. I wish we could have them as separate plants. Because they are kind of really nice and I like them. These things, these big... I don't know what they are. They're obviously a type of fern. But I really wish they were available as a separate plant. I might put just a few over here as well, just around this tree. There we go. Because that will stimulate the iguanodons to come wandering over. You're obsessed with Elden Ring, Berenson. Yes, I know a lot of people are. I admit, I'm not massively fond of the Dark Souls games or anything of that sort, but, you know, you can't deny they are very impressive titles. I just wanted, like, just a taller tree around here, because I think it's all a little too low. And I don't...
Do you work tomorrow?
What do you mean you have to go to work tomorrow?
The bank holiday.
No bank holiday? Have we lost?
Yep.
How much did we lose by? What?
2-1.
2-1?
So we lost by 1.
Damn. Yay, the England football team lost. Good. And we can all go back to remembering we suck at football. Anyway, I think that looks pretty decent. There's still a little bit of work that needs to be done for this, like the edges of this cliff need some, you know, more rocks, more vegetation put in. Thanatos Dracon, where are you going? Thank you, come back. However, oh, that's a quick. Oh no, no, stay there. That is a Photoshop opportunity. I've forgotten the camera controls. That is a photographic opportunity. Kind of. You have to take advantage of all... You know, you have to keep an eye out for possible opportunities to take good camera shots. Especially for psych screenshots and things. I think maybe have it from that angle. Any other opportunities for good? Maybe from like up here, almost walking with dinosaurs. This. You have one from like iguanodon level. have to get closer to the iguanodon, I think. Maybe? Maybe if we... That'll do. Sorry. Have to take advantage of any opportunity. So yeah, aviary done. Reasonably happy with it. Some further decoration work to be done in there. But I think that's turned out pretty well. Right, let's go back to this walkthrough enclosure that we are going to radically alter. I just don't like... I wasn't 100% with the walkthrough enclosure idea, and having had a look at the rest of the park now and like how many enclosures we currently have, I feel like there just needed to be something between some enclosures, something that just lighten this area. Like I say, I'm not 100% against having some smaller caged animals in here, but I want to change things up a bit. The general sort of landscape with the sort of where the mounds and ridges and dips are, I'm happy with that. I just think I want to alter things a bit. Hello, Spiny Games. So what I'm going to do is I want there to be like a straight piece of path here. That will be basically our entrance. And then we'll have one path there. And that's a bit annoying, it's going to be like that, but I can live with that. Yeah, I can live with that. Then I think I would like a couple... I would like something like a gate here. We've got the Jurassic Park gates, obviously. However, what I'm going to do, I'm going to place one. And then turn one around and phase it into the other. So you kind of hide the Jurassic World bit, or the Jurassic Park bit, and you just kind of end up with just a nice flamey gate. Which is what I want for here. I just want a gate. I don't want it to be branded, as it were. I just want it to look like a nice gate. The area between, I'm thinking, we could use something like this. Just... maybe? Or do we just go for like rock? No, I feel like this would actually work better. maybe? The German commentary was not hyping up the match at all. I mean, from what I saw with the responses from some of the British comment... Oh, you bastard. I hate it when it does that. Jesus Christ. From what I saw from some of the British commentators, they were like, yeah, this is not going to be a match that is remembered. it was like, this is a pretty boring match. Why is that? Oh, it needs to be that way. Oops. I seriously hope in any future Jurassic World game they make the terrain tool less annoying to use. Like, the ability to just change the diameter of the circle to something a little bit more manageable would be so appreciated. Yeah, I've decided against what I was going to do with the rocks, because I was just thinking it was taking up too many pieces, so we are going to stick to using the concrete. Just here, though. Ah. That's awkward. That's better. Yeah. Obviously, we can use like plenty of plants and stuff to camouflage the concrete. But I did want there to be like a boundary divide between the natural area and the rest. Right, let's put this these gates back in. I mean, I'm not surprised at all that we lost. I mean, from what I heard, like, Spain had won every single game they had played up to that point, and then we basically seemed to get through by sheer dumb luck. So I'm not surprised. And I am very glad, because it means everyone can go back to acting normal. I really don't get the hype about football in this country. We're rubbish at it. We're useless at football. We haven't been good at it for ages. Right, so that's now our new entrance into this lovely area. And then we're going to do something similar over here. So I'm just going to straight line this. There we go. This bit is basically going to be one big sort of plaza area. So this is going to come off down here and kind of go a little this way. and kind of go up here and there, and then sort of across there, and we'll just then connect up to that. Sort of, this is rough, but about that. And then kind of curve around, something like that. I watched this one German YouTuber who goes over the top with mods for his sandbox builds, and it's absolutely crazy. Yeah. So, strangely enough, as much as I love modding, I do personally believe there is a point where it gets too much. And there are some particular builds. I'm not going to name and shame. Well, not necessarily name and shame, but criticize here. But there is one particular builder I have seen a lot of, whose stuff is, you know, really over the top incredible. I mean, the amount of work it must take to do it must be astonishing. However, I don't necessarily think it looks good. Especially, this might give it away, but I'm still not going to name names, but especially the hyper use of containers to, like, construct stuff out of. Hello, TurboSoft. Because, I'm not being funny, but when people build things out of the containers, it's really obvious they're just shipping containers that you've used instead. So yeah, you can make... You can make things look like things with shipping containers, but it doesn't... the ugliness of the shipping container remains, you know? And I also think that they tend to screw up the scale a bit. Like, there was one where, like... The Ferris wheel thing he built was incredible. But the scale was all off. Like, it was enormous compared to everything else in the park. And, like, you're talking about a Ferris wheel there that's, like, the size of a skyscraper. It's just off in terms of scaling. So, yeah, I think there comes a point where your modding is not necessarily helping the build. That's just my perspective. I use a lot of mods, but I always try to make the park... I want to use the word realistic, but it's probably not the best word to use. Probably... Not necessarily realistic, but grounded. Like, it's grounded in the ideas of realism. Like, nothing I've built here is what I feel unrealistic in any way. Like, it's certainly very unusual for, you know, as far as Jurassic World Evolution 2 goes. But nothing I've built I feel couldn't be done in real life. I'm not dissing him. Make it be very clear sarcastically, sarcastic paleontologist. I didn't diss him. What I said was, I don't like his build style. That's all. I'm sure there are plenty of people that don't like my build style. People build in different ways. I personally don't like his style. I know plenty of people that do. You know. I think it's one of the advantages of park building games in general. Not just Jurassic World Evolution 2, but ones with a greater dependence on imagination. Things like Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Prehistoric Kingdom. You get to see different ideas for what people would like in their parks and in their constructions. Okay, that's better. It's a very clear build style, at least. Exactly. It makes him or them stand out in the same way that I think Evo has a very sort of specific build style too. In the same way that I think I have a specific build style. It's actually one of the things I have struggled with, is trying to make my parks look not necessarily the same all the time. But that's because I think I tend to go with a very, like, British zoo style of build. Because that's what I'm most familiar with, is British zoos. So as a result, my parks always kind of feel that way. Okay, I'm a lot happier with how this feels now. Like, the wall pieces are a little more regular. The gates, I think, add a bit more gravitas to it. Yeah, I'm a lot happier with how this looks. Hello, Berenson. So, yeah, I want to be able to put, like, a couple of caged animals here. So, let's go and grab those cage components. I mean, I'm almost tempted to suggest removing some of these paths. I like the sort of arterial nature of it, though. I think there's definitely space for one here. Like, maybe... What do you folks think we should have the curved side facing here? Or have the flat side facing here? Because I think I'll change the path to whichever you want, but... Curved or flat? You're kind of nervous for next week because of the second part of your exams. I'm sure you'll do fine, Renson. I think maybe the curved side. Let's put that there for the moment. Let's get rid of this bit of path. And let's shift this down here. I think I've maybe put that too far forwards. Down there. kind of feel like one is too small. Like, if we did 2, that's a little bit more manageable amounts of space, I think, for the... Because we're putting Morris Intrepidus in here, I think. This is the other problem with this guy's mod in particular. He's certainly chosen some very awkward shapes that don't fit in with games. Angle snapping. Like, I love this mod, but there are a few ways I think it could be dramatically improved. Making it work better with the angle snap is one of them. And the other bit is making a longer side piece. So that you don't have to use 2 to do each section. I mean, I think they're a great idea, this modular system. I just think we need like a couple of extra pieces to make it work a little nicer for us. A longer wall section, definitely. Oh, we've got an issue with the back wall there. I have to grab each bit and just... Oops. Wrong control. Lower it slightly. Oh, it's... I chose a really shit place to put this enclosure, didn't I? Still, see, this is why I think we need a longer wall section, because to do it with 2 and to not make it look like it's janky as fuck is really awkward. See, like that bit wasn't even in the right place. Sorry, folks. I'll get back to chat in a sec. I'm just wanting to get this bit addressed, and then we'll just have a look at chat. Oh my god, get back in there. The highlighting doesn't actually help, I've discovered. I wish they would just remove the highlighting. You see what I mean? It completely screws up your perspective, that highlighting. I suppose I should have probably just flattened the terrain, shouldn't I? What? There's a massive, great big hole here. Because that one is not lined up correctly. It's not perfect, but it'll do. It is annoying, the lack of the snapping. So I feel like I do want to be able to put an extra, like, not necessarily a wall piece, maybe a plant piece. If I had Kaidenix's fence mod, I'd probably use that, but I'm holding off until it's fixed. You know what? Maybe this stuff would be the best. Like, have a piece there, and have a piece there. Yeah, because technically Kaidenix's fence mod is not really working correctly. Like, it's working, but you lose certain Jurassic Park anniversary paths. And I just kind of want to hold off using the mod until that feature is fixed. That's awkward. Oh no, why? Why can't you just delete the path? God for Kaidenik. Seriously. There we go. Just shift that out slightly. Shift that one out slightly. That's better. Right. Then we can make that one a bit thicker. And that one a bit thicker. And then you've got like you know, you've got a little cage area there. And I'm thinking maybe we could do one more. Like have two caged areas, maybe one here, maybe one here? At the very start? Nah. Let's not have one. Maybe though, because that one's kind of like at the end, isn't it? I feel like one there and one there is kind of in the right place, actually. So I quite like the idea of this one being below ground level. So obviously, to get the animals in, we're going to have to remove the roofs. But that's fine. Right. So let's create something more symmetrical there. And we'll have, I feel like we'll have the entrance into it here. So we can have like a downward section. If you got to be a dinosaur at a square park, which dinosaur would you want to be? I'd probably want to be like, I don't know. I feel like ankylosaurs in this game don't get near enough love, so I'd probably opt to be an ankylosaur. Well, that's quite large. Is that one? Flat roof. Okay. We use this one because I want to be able to create a different kind of shape with it. It's going to be a lot easier to make this one as well because I have everything built on angle snap. See how easy this is to build when it's on angle snap. This is where I think he's gone a little wrong with that circular one. The fact that not all those angles are on the snap. I think it would have been better if he had simply done that circular shaped mesh one as just like a pre-built enclosure like the amphibious mod has. Obviously there's a few of these pieces that will need adjusting in position. But yeah, that's... Can we get away with putting one more in there? Nah. I'm happy with this one as it is. Because then we can have like a piece of path that goes down. Look at that. It's almost the perfect size for a small piece of path. I think we'll do a gap there. Do another little bit of not flattened, smoothed terrain. There we go. that. And then again, we'll use like these guys as kind of not hardcore protection. Just to sort of... And then obviously... Well, I hate it when it does that. Obviously, we'll then, you know, put plenty of plants and stuff around them. But yeah, I think they work out. The only thing I think I am going to have a problem with is putting water in here. Haha! Having just thought about it. Okay, let's see if I can get water. Terrain constraints. Flipping terrain constraints. That should be enough water for anything in there, right? I feel like we can make this like a proper bridge kind of here. Put like a fountain in here. This one I feel we're going to have the trouble with. Because of terrain constraints. Let's remove that and remove these. And remove these. Let's see if we can put water down in here. No, really? What's the terrain constraint for there? It can't be these pieces, surely. Is it the path? This is why we need dinosaur drinking. Like, we need proper dinosaur feeders back, with like water being one of the feeder types. I hope that's enough water. I think it should be. Let's put that back. Put this one back. Actually going to give them an extra run in this back corner here. Just to make sure that they can get access to that water, since we had problems before, didn't we? So, next week, I just thought I'd have a chat to you all about it while I'm doing these things. I did want to do a stream on potentially Thursday, because I wanted to show off a Titanic game. Well, not really a game, but a Titanic related thing. It's also an opportunity for me to talk about one of my specialist subjects, that being history. So I thought I would do that on Thursday. So if anyone wants to come in and chat history and that sort of thing, that would be going on Thursday. It's also going to be like more of a chat heavy stream, so it's going to be a good opportunity to talk to me about stuff, ask questions about stuff. Bloody hell, I just accidentally got rid of that water. Oh, that's why this chunk of roof is actually lower down. That's better. I wondered why these pieces were having to be lowered, and I'm like, I've forgotten that. Oh, Jesus. It's really inconvenient that the path does that. Like, if it accidentally snaps, it just destroys any water you put down. Stop it. I'll have to figure out what animals we'll be putting in these as well, because these are not exactly massive enclosures. So we're going to have to be careful what creatures we do decide to put down in here. Oh, they've all slightly lowered down because of the water. Get me, can you? Thank you. That's better. There we go. It was awkward, but we've got there in the end. So I think that's plenty of water for them. And then we can, like, if we grab another piece of wall, and we can just, like, have this there. And again, like I'm very fond of saying, there are always tolerances here. Thinking... There we go. Like one of my biggest tips, I think, for Jurassic World Evolution 2 building. Find ways of doing things easily. If you've got an awkward place that needs covering up, find a stone that you can put in that does the job just as well. And you've taken the first step to preserving the Utahraptor genome. Berenson? I don't think I want to know. There we go. Okay, King Giga. See you later. Thank you for tuning in. Right. Water in. Good. Now, if this one is going to be for Morris Intrepidus, we're going to obviously need a meat feeder. I'm going to use the invisible one, so it's a bit more realistic. I think we'll have Morris Intrepidus in there, and in here we'll have... I don't think there are any herbivores that are this small. Listro, maybe? I mean, we could just put... I feel like small carnivores would fit these really much better than herbivores, so... They're going to be carnivorous. Right, I am now going to carefully remove the top from this one, so that we can just decorate and design the inside of this enclosure. We don't want to waste too much space, so we're going to use smaller rocks. And I feel like having a shelter of some description. Like we did for the other guys. I mean, that would work if we hit it in the back. Hiding it amongst the trees. Gonna lower it slightly into the ground as well. Yeah, that would be alright. That's alright. Tolerances. Actually, no, that would just annoy me. Because I know that's there. There's something in here. Oh, maybe like the little tent. or something. Yeah, that works. That works a bit better. Okay, let's like turn it like that way. And like sink it into the ground a little. That's better. We'll make this enclosure like the thing I finished the stream on. So I'll finish the stream once this enclosure is like built. So if we go over a little bit, we go over a little bit. I do want to put in my... Oh, that's almost comically oversized. I think we need a smaller one than that. It's not loud enough though. Adjust everything over a bit. Yeah, that'll do. Right, some more lightweight plants in here. It's nice. Grab one of these. I'm going to bury it. That tree is just a little too large. That's not too big. That tree would work very nicely. I want to just stick a couple of rocks in there. That's not too bad, is it? Right. Let's go and get some Moros Intrepidus skins. I think, Berenson, you're the only one here, so I think you get to choose the skins. Oh, I wonder how many for that little area. 4, 5? Yeah, 5's a good flock, isn't it? Morris Intrepidis. Right, let's have a look here. Something is going to stand out amongst the green, really. Nothing too dark. I like the blue. Hello, the monster. Discover that the tropical skins are the only ones without unlockable patterns. I really didn't like how they did the research stuff in this game. I do like the silver though. So I'm gonna find a nice. That's a really nice color. It's an arc park, after all. It's all about preserving the genetics. No. I quite like this as kind of like an Arctic style skin, which I think is quite cool. So Killian Mountains and Papurana for the males, and then for the females, they can just be bare. Again, if I had access to every terrain brush texture, it would be nice to be able to put. That's sort of the other reason. So, just gone the wrong way, haven't I? I do not understand why they think Europe doesn't have snow. Good night, Joshua. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully see you on Thursday. If not, see you next Sunday. So Killian Mountains and Papurana for our males. Yes, I know paths are connected. Shut up. Morus. Oh, Microceratus. Microceratus can be our animal in the other section. I forgot about Microceratus. Completely forgot that even existed. I have 2 males. Next Sunday stream, we're going to be back on Subnautica since it's been a while. So placing them is going to be awkward. I think I'm going to have to do them like one at a time. obstructed by? I'm curious now. I haven't used these cages before, so I hope they're not too buggered up. Can we move it down the next ones, please? Seriously, that's like the only place where I can put them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a morose intrepidus to the park.
Ugh, this is going to be inconvenient. Probably better to use Kaidenix's spawn mod with it. Or to do the design and decoration after they're in there. It's probably the better solution. Although there's nothing over the roof, so I am curious what's obstructing them. Seriously, where's that? There must be somewhere else I can stick these, surely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a morose intrepidus to the park.
Must be the size of the hitbox that they have, that the helicopter hitbox. Can't help but feel that this whole problem would have been solved if they hadn't decided to make transporting a dinosaur the size of a chicken require something simply enormous. A lesson learned for next time. With things like this, you're going to have to use the spawning mod, and yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to do the patterns with that. Yeah, it's the enormous size of that massive delivery harness, which is causing the problem, because it's so enormous.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome
So that's the only place that it can go.
to the park.
Honestly, just give us a man with a box. One man with like 2 cat carrying boxes could like transport 4 Morus Intrepidus. There we go. That's all of them. Yeah, Planet Zoo style it. Baffles me that we have to have a more awkward system than is necessary.
The park.
That's a bit messy back there. Stick some rocks back there just to... There we go. Right, all Morris Intrepidus are in the cage. So now I'm just going to stick the roof on the top. There we go. And I'm just going to hope that they can eat and that they can drink, which it looks like that they can. Yeah, all happy, all content. Might do a little bit more like texture work in here. Give them some more dirt, maybe. Like, let's put some dirt, and then let's put some like low intensity, like that sort of stuff down. High intensity in the water. There we go. I think that works quite well, actually. Look at him. Oh, little guy's wandering around amongst the grass. Oh, and people was finally able to get to our innovation center. Obviously, I have a suspicion they're not going to come in here, which is a bit of a disappointment. And they're not going to leave here and go to anything in here because there's no, like, amenities. This is the one problem with this system's, like, guest system, is that they only go where there's amenities. They don't bother going anywhere else. So stuff like this just ends up not working, which is a disappointment. It is what it is. Right, well, I'm going to head off now. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been a fun little building session. Like I say, don't forget, I'll see you on Thursday for the Titanic thing. And yes, it was Brenton. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. If you're watching after the fact, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe wherever you are and enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and good night.